Now we should be live. I am back again with Scott Healy from Biscodini Organ Trio, one of the most phenomenal keyboard players in the world. I was just listening to this song, Biscodini Boogaloo.
That's one of my favorites. I mean, I got there are 10 tracks on the record, and all 10 are my favorites. But that's the one that's got the snap.
Oh my God, it sure does. I mean, it right away. I mean, as a musician, it hits me. It's just like, oh my God, right away. You just realize like this is some next level stuff. And yeah, I mean, it has so many different parts. I mean, it feels like a very free improvisation. Like there's not much that's being repeated, and yet there's something that just really holds it together. Still, it's an amazing thing to behold. And you've got an NFT of that song that is very special as well.
I do. I mean, you're talking about what holds the song together, and what really holds the song together is Kurt Biscara's drum groove, and we're going to offer as an NFT on Ghost Market. I just minted it a couple days ago. It's been sitting here waiting just to go live. The drum tracks and the stems, the mixed stems of Biscodini Boogaloo, already mounted inside of new Pro Tools sessions. So if you have Pro Tools, you can buy this remix package and bring up the original drum part in 24/48, beautiful, clear audio. It's pretty much just exactly what his microphones were picking up. So you've got individual tracks for each of his drums, kick, snare, hi-hat, bass, drum, as much as that you can isolate in his where he recorded it in his drum room. And then on the other session, you've got a stereo mix of the drum part, and then you've got my organ left hand bass on one track, right hand on the other track. You've got the guitar and the percussion on separate discrete tracks. And we're also putting in the MIDI file of the digital B3, which I played, which is right here, which is my baby, the Hammond XK5, which has the ability to transmit MIDI, and I recorded MIDI on discrete inputs. So I recorded the left hand separately on a separate MIDI channel than the right hand. And that includes all the drawbar settings and all the swell pedal changes and the Leslie on and off. That's all as a MIDI file,
that's incredible.
Which you can import into a new session, and you can import all these tracks into your own DAW if you've got Cubase or you've got Logic. A lot of people have Logic. You just open up the audio file. That's the audio folder that's inside these Pro Tools sessions. I believe it's set up so it's very obvious where it is, and just bring them in. They're just WAV files. Just bring them into your session.
Yeah, and I'm sure you wouldn't have to have Pro Tools. I could do it with Logic or whatever you have.
Yeah, you could. I'm sure there's going to be someone who's going to figure out how to remix it on their watch. So
Absolutely. And actually, speaking of, let's get back to the drummer for a second. Kurt, I mean, okay, like the drummer world's a little foreign to me as a guitar player, but I'm figuring out that Kurt is actually like kind of a huge name in the world of drums. And actually, the CEO of Drum Workshop just contacted me and said that he had gotten my name from Kurt, and he's sponsored by Drum Workshop. And some of the finest drummers are, and of course, he clearly is one of the finest drummers that I've ever heard. And yeah, it's really exciting to hear, or to think that you can hear just his solo drum track. I mean, if you're a drummer, if you want to learn from the best, if I mean, I could see people trying to maybe, pick up something, from this, like being able to solo those instruments. Like I wouldn't mind trying to learn some of John, and let me say this right. It's John Chiodini.
Q. It's like a CHIO. It's the Italian Q.
Okay. Chiodini. Okay. John Chiodini's like some of his guitar licks. I would love to learn some of those. I could learn a ton from him. Obviously, he's a monster player in a style that I'm not actually that familiar with. I mean, it would be an incredible wealth of knowledge here for someone as a student, I feel like.
Right. I'm also including the sheet music of the track. And we wrote it out in Finale. It's like a lead sheet, so you'll have a pro lead sheet of exactly what's on the record, and that's going to be in PDF form. So for those of us literate musicians, we can actually play the tune. So yeah,
that's incredible. Wow. So you've got an NFT ready to go, right? And you've actually already minted it at this
I've already
point.
minted it. Would you like to see the? I can show you the process of minting it and what I did as far as I think it's important when you put up these NFTs. And I mean, obviously, we're still in the infancy, but I think you told me, Jesse, that the main thing you want to do is get your link. We have to have a link that's established, and it's gonna help SEO, and it's also gonna help just general publicity to publicize this NFT, because your description is on the NFT itself is limited to 500 characters with
Absolutely.
spaces. So you have to be very careful. You can't really put a lot of info in that little box. You'll see it. It's about this big. So, it's even smaller than a banner that you're used to seeing.
Yeah,
So,
I would encourage everyone to check out the way that you do this as a model for everyone. I mean,
no, I'll show
the
you. I mean,
pages that you create are incredible. And I mean, everyone is always so impressed when you come on the channel and demonstrate this mastery and teach everybody.
well, it's a mastery of it's basically WordPress skills, which is something that I just learned on the job, basically, trying to build my own website. But yeah, WordPress is 40% of the web runs on WordPress, and we put a Biscodini.com website up there, WordPress website, and I started posting on it. And what I do is, if you could enable my screen sharing, I'll show you.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
I'll show you I just basically put all the information for the NFT on a post. And if you're familiar with WordPress, that's the way that you would, have things be able to be categorized and sorted. You put them in as a post.
Yeah, and it's very cheap to start a WordPress website. It's open source software. And so any hosting plan, pretty much, you can get WordPress on it and get started and just create a post with the information.
I love this. I love this. I have to allow Zoom to share my screen.
Oh,
Because I just updated my software. It's not working.
oh, that's funny. I think I
Oh my God. I have to open my security preferences. So why did you go to?
Oh yeah. So
Isn't that funny?
you took the big Sur plunge.
I took the big search. Here's a lesson for you guys. When you update your system software, Apple these days is really, really weird about letting you do things that aren't on apple.com or on the App Store.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, they still are weird. And in fact, Apple has been holding up the iOS wallet, which has been ready for an insanely long time, actually. The Poltergeist wallet for iOS, and hopefully that comes out very soon. I'm not sure what's up with them.
I have to quit and rejoin the meeting. Okay, Jesse?
Okay,
So
sure, no problem. We're just waiting for Scott to come back here. Always an exciting time with Scott. He's living on the edge. I'd love to hear from him. All right, good to see you.
all right. Hey, okay, I'm back. All right, people. Let's see if I can share my screen. There we go. Let's go.
Awesome.
Okay. So you should see this screenshot, right? This is a screenshot of, yeah, this is Bob Daspit's screenshot of the Pro Tools session. So he sent me the screenshot. I made this the featured image on the post. So it comes out right at the post. And it's also going to be the cached image for if you post this, like on Twitter, if you put a link in, this will come down as a cached image if you have your website set up properly. So this is a post on Biscodini.com. So this is the general information. This is basically copied and pasted from the last NFT, and I just make a short description that you want to just keep reiterating that this is a remix pack. It's a digital collectible, 1 of 10. I want to put the link in, and I can't get this link going right until I actually mint the NFT.
Oh yeah.
So once you mint the NFT, it'll give you the link. Then you go back and update this with in your editor. So update all these links.
This is so nice, like for somebody who's, as a buyer, right? If I see this and I know that this is out there and it's getting SEO over the years, and that anybody who looks for Biscodini is going to find this, and that's going to lead them to this thing that I might have for sale, right?
That's a good point too. You want to do your SEO on the post itself.
Absolutely.
Using Yoast or something else, or just make sure you name your screenshots. So it's not screenshot 007. So it's call this Biscodini Boogaloo screenshot.
Absolutely.
Depending on what your keyword selection is, again, here's another link and here's another link. So I just want to keep these. I think that if you make it look like a link, look like a shorter link with a shortened link, it might attract some things too. So go to your URL shortener, maybe shorten the link and put the link itself up here instead of the actual link, which has a 56 character hash on it. But so and I've got our promo video. I press play, except then YouTube would boot us off the air. I've got SoundCloud preview.
Nice.
Of the Biscodini Boogaloo. I want to set it to that within the playlist. It's set to Biscodini Boogaloo. And I've got our boilerplate cut and paste credits, picture, and then I've got the liner notes by Chris Morris. So I set that up. I get this link here. So I want to make sure that in the editor, you can change this link, what you call this. So I want to put the name of I want to put Biscodini in there, and I want to put NFT in there also, because Google loves to see the first couple characters or words of your URL. So you have the ability in WordPress to define the URL. And especially in WordPress, you want to disable the function which applies a post number instead of a name to the posts. So I guess that someone told me that, and they actually did.
Absolutely, man. You got the SEO down, and that's important. So, all this stuff is something that now you're doing that will benefit the buyer throughout the years.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, that's really the idea, because what we're doing is we're cutting out the middleman, and the artist is going directly to the buyer. So we have to make the buying experience pleasurable, but we also have to just make sure we give them proper information. The information is really important, and clear explanations and good links, because nothing turns off a buyer more than a bad link.
Right. Yeah, because you have to take all that into account. It's like, what's that next buyer gonna think? Right. Even if I can do the research.
Yeah, you're the artist. You're also iTunes. So you're also the sales point of sale platform. So then what happens is we go to I'll just go right back to my Firefox here. And here's the minted pack here. Can you see that?
I do see it. That's amazing. Yes. I love that.
So I went to Canva and I made a little something that shows up, on the actual. This is all they're going to see. This is the only graphic you can put on these things, and this is part of the. This is going to be part of the NFT. Is this graphic? So I just want to have the title there. I think next for the next one, I might put the title of the tune in Biscodini, Boogaloo remix pack, or make it remix pack number 2. Mm-hmm. I decided to do 1 out of 10 instead of 1 out of 20.
How are you going to price these? I'm anxious to see then.
Well, I was thinking $50.
Nice.
So that would be
I think
about
that's a nice amount. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll test the waters with 10 for $50. And, you know, if they don't sell, we'll lower the price on the next round. If they do sell, we'll be very happy.
Nice. Well, good thing there's a 20-second delay.
Right. So here's the description. And I did this, I write this first in Microsoft Word. Do you want me to show you that, or does that?
Oh, sure, as long as it doesn't have your secret link in there.
No, I did. And actually, I want to make sure that I don't have the secret link in there.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So this is my first draft right here. This is what I showed you last week.
Oh yeah, nice.
Yeah,
that
right?
X'd out one. I remember. That's awesome.
Right. So here's the Google Drive folder that it was. And I put this up on YouTube Live, and of course, as soon as I do that, this is the private link. The NFT itself lives on Google Drive as a zipped folder, and here's the address. So this is what you're buying. This is what they're buying.
Except it'll be the right one.
That's not the right one. This is dead. This is long gone. But anyway, we need to, and Jesse can help you with this also. When you put the links in here, first of all, I like to spread it out just so I can see it. These links here, this is the Spotify preview, and notice that he's got the HTML tags surrounding it, which is going to make it come up, and just with this text here, Spotify preview, that's what it's going to show, and it's going to link to this. So that's what these HTML tags mean. So you want to put that, you want to make sure you do that rather than having this long URL in the description, because that'll take up the entire window. Generally what happens is, so what do I do? What I do is go to this and I say a word count, and I see that that's characters with space is 499. There we go. So that's perfect. So what I did was I copied and pasted that into the NFT, and then I sussed it out, and I actually got rid of these spaces because it goes, you know, this is what I did inside the box, because otherwise this is below the level of the window as it comes out, because it can only display like this much. So
interesting.
So then I copied and pasted it back into here. So this is my final NFT description right here. The character description has to be what, 40 characters?
I think it's only 30 actually.
30, yeah. So this is one shy of that. And then I get my Google Drive folder, and I just redacted it here so you don't have to see it.
Nice.
So I just want to store this on a sheet so I have this forever.
Absolutely.
And for the next one, I can sort of use the same spacing. There we go. So then I cut and pasted that back
the
into
Healy method.
Yeah, this is the Healy method.
This is awesome.
And I'll tell you what, Phantasma, I'm really excited about Phantasma, because I'm hearing from all my people that these network charges for the Ethereum blockchain is just incredibly high.
Oh yeah, it's like $100 almost anywhere to make an NFT right now.
Yeah, so we can mint an NFT on Phantasma for what, 0.01 cents?
Well, the actual gas fee is like a tenth of a cent or even less. There is like a fee of 20 kcal and then 4 kcal for each additional one to mint, like self mint on Ghost Market, but that is like a platform fee to prevent spamming. So it ends up being like, I think $1.50.
Yeah, I think it was $1.67 to mint this. Okay, and I did it twice because I messed up one thing. I just burned it.
Okay, yeah, and we do give free kcal and Sol still if you go to houseofnft.com. So it's actually, if you're a musician, you have to be a musician, not just giving away free money to everybody on the internet. But if you really are and you have music out there and you want to mint a music NFT, go to houseofnft.com and you'll get hooked up.
Right, and everything NFT is in the news, and I'm assuming that all of those things we hear about are on the Ethereum blockchain, right? What other?
Most of them, yeah, or they, they'll have something that's built on top of it, and they'll call it a separate protocol or something like that. But really, all it is a marketplace where they're storing their stuff usually in a centralized server or something, and then eventually
Right.
minting
And
it on Ethereum.
it's even on the Terra Virtua NFT site, they have a different way of doing it also, which is more expensive. Um,
Okay. Well, yeah, and I mean, we saw like Nifty Gateway just got hacked a few days ago.
right,
People had their NFTs stolen, and that's because it's on a server. It's not on the blockchain, and that's so
right.
much of what's going on with Ethereum is it's too expensive to actually use the chain. So all of the supposed advantages of the blockchain are gone.
Yeah, and I also think that the whole thing with Ethereum is we're like patching holes as soon as we find out a need where we're doing a side chain or we're doing a different DApp or DApp, and we're like adding on to this infrastructure, which is pretty fixed right now. I mean, until they really get it down, we're going to still have these high transaction fees. And
Oh
when you're
yeah,
on, Phantasma is just in its infancy. I can't wait till you guys get a new skin for music, an
yeah,
ability to sort.
yeah. We
And
need something like that, like music.ghostmarket.io,
yeah,
art.ghostmarket.io. There's so
yeah,
many things that just. I mean, the sky's the limit, but yeah, we really are just getting started. In fact, the self minting only went live in December.
yeah. So anyway, so I have minted this already, and now I'm going to sell it. And I have a choice. I can say auction the NFT, and I have a choice of the classic reserve Dutch or fixed price. And the last one we did was a classic auction, which is still going on, by the way. I'm going to say fixed price. Currency is Sol. You can use all these other currencies, but I would definitely recommend Sol. And you buy Sol with Ethereum, and that's a whole separate process. Maybe Jesse can talk about that some other time.
Well, I do have a video specifically for music fans. If you look in my YouTube channel here, I guess if you're watching this video, you should be able to find my YouTube channel. There's one that you can watch me bid and all of that. It's a
Right.
music fans video.
Right. Music fans, you can buy Sol on, I guess you can buy it on Uniswap or KuCoin.
Yeah, KuCoin seems to have the best liquidity, and Ethereum is so expensive that I would avoid Uniswap and
Definitely.
just stick with KuCoin, which is NeoSol.
If you buy NeoSol on a KuCoin, you will not have that big transaction fee.
That's right.
And you basically get like a 6 cent fee for just basically like trading a stock. So they have a liquidity offering and they have an order book and everything. So you can buy your Sol, but still it's when you guys get credit card point of sale on your website, it's gonna be insane.
Oh yeah, that is the plan. It definitely will be coming.
Right. So I think we can all see that the Phantasma blockchain is perfectly set up for music NFTs and art NFTs, but particularly for music because we can sell MP3s here. We can sell things for $1, for $5.
Exactly. Yeah.
Which you can't do on anything that has all those transaction fees. You're
That's
not going
right.
to mint a $5 NFT fixed price. So anyway, so my start price is since it's a fixed price auction. My start price is 75 Sol, which right now is about $55. And that's it. I'm gonna run it for a month. I guess you can cancel anytime, right? Maybe I should run it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, fixed price. Yes, you can cancel it.
Yeah, so maybe I should do for 2 weeks. Let me just do for 2 weeks.
There you go.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, so I made sure to update my Poltergeist wallet to 2.2.1. Is that what it is?
That is the latest version.
Yes,
Yes. And you do have to keep up on that. Because
Yeah,
Phantasma is always doing these crazy new things that involve major upgrades. So you got to keep that wallet
right.
updated.
Yeah, you enacted the auctioning, and then that blew out 2.0, right? So now
Right.
2.1. Now you've got probably another great feature. Again, I can't wait till you get this sorting and your whatever skin or sort of any kind of tagging.
Yes. Yeah, tagging. That would be
Really
nice.
great if you could get a link that was a little shorter.
Oh yeah.
I guess
Well,
that would require a little bit of server work.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if they could. I mean, they do short URLs, like for the other addresses, like, I can just like my wallet address is just Jesse, right? Like people can
Yeah.
just send money to Jesse. They could probably
Yeah.
do that with the NFTs or something. I
I
wonder.
think a dedicated URL for each ghost market URL would be great. I mean, I suppose they could do that, but that would means they would have to maintain some sort of server to
Yeah, they try to keep everything on chain. That's the thing. I
yeah,
mean,
because
they're like
you don't want
militant
to put a
about
hard link up like
decentralized
that
and
on chain. Yeah, it's
like
that
things that other companies are just like okay with. They're just like, no way, we are making this full blockchain.
yeah. Basically, this browser or whatever this app, whatever you have on Ghost Market, is just a scraper. It's just scraping the chain.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
really it's that's why it's so amazing because you're like we're talking right now to all the nodes. So
Mhm.
I'm just gonna double check it. Um, oh, you want to tell them what infused with kcal means?
Oh yeah, so well, that's one neat feature of the NFTs specific to Phantasma Chain. I guess the concept of infusing was started with Engine, and but with those, I think you can only infuse Engine. But with these, you can infuse anything. You can infuse Ethereum or KCal or Sol or NeoGas or whatever you want, and you can even infuse other NFTs, and you can do it in layers. So you could have an NFT within an NFT within an NFT or whatever, and people have done really creative things with that, like as far as like the different layers of albums, just amazing stuff.
Good. And I'm also noticing that I think the titling is a good idea on the graphic.
Absolutely, yeah.
And I would definitely recommend just like some online, just take a second and punch your graphics up a little bit. Uh, so it can just grab your eye. So that it's important because I see a lot of NFTs that have really cool artwork, but you don't really know what it is, you know? It seems to me like there should be a little bit more of a marketing in most of these things that I see, but that's just, again, we're in the infancy, so we're making it up.
Well, I think people can definitely learn from what you're doing. I mean, all around.
Since you're so
It's a great
limited in
example.
your titling, I I didn't want to put the name of the tune in the description, but I wanted to put it in the title. I didn't want to put the name of the album in the title, so I put it in the description. Just things like little things like that. To just to balance out this the experience of interfacing with this NFT. All right. Anyway, enough talk. Confirm auction. Confirm auction.
Yeah.
It's going to
All
talk to
right.
my wallet. So I'm looking at my wallet. I'm giving the DApp Ghost Market access to my account. It's going in there. It's saying list it. This is a separate fee. So it's basically, I've got to type in my password. So the fee is 0.00465 kcal, which is what? Almost nothing.
It's basically
One
four
kcal is
hundredths of
what?
nothing.
0.07 cents, right? Or 0.7 cents?
That's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And of course, if you have Sol, you get KCal for free. That's the thing. So KCal is the energy or gas token that accomplishes the work on the network. And with Ethereum, you are always having to spend your Ethereum. But with this, if you have Sol, you can just get to keep your Sol. And anything you need to do with gas fees is always going to be this KCal that you're generating for free.
Right. And if you buy a lot of cake, if you buy a lot of Sol and you stake it on in your Poltergeist wallet, you will get interest. It'll throw off, it seems like about I mean it's not bad. So you will get KCal as interest.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't
It
think you're gonna get
fluctuates a lot.
1099 for that or 1098 for that.
No, no, I imagine all that stuff needs to be reported if it's income. I will have to be
Yes,
looking into that.
it needs to be reported.
But I'm all about following the law, that's for sure.
Absolutely. Here we go.
Very nice. So that's ready and that's on sale. Let's
Yep.
refresh over here. I see it.
There it is.
Looks like number one's still available.
So I'm ready. So
I should be sharing my screen, but I don't want to take the time because someone else might get it.
well, there are 10 of them.
And not anymore.
So I would definitely encourage everyone to go to ghostmarket.io. First go to first go to phantasma.io and read up on what the blockchain is and all the different ways that they're doing this, because it's really interesting. They've got a really interesting take on it. So you want
Thank
to just
you.
explain just why it's important to have your own blockchain?
I was going to gloat about getting number one, but I could do that instead. So number ones, for people that don't know, I mean, there's always like a little bit of a prestige or maybe price bonus or something for having the number one, and I just got the number one of that one. So,
Oh,
sorry about that,
thanks.
everyone. But yeah, no, thank you. That is amazing. I really appreciate it. So yeah, as far as Phantasma, what was the question?
Why the Phantasma blockchain? Why? What
Yes,
is it? Why is this so good for music?
absolutely. Okay, so I mean, to me, I mean, the environmental thing is huge, but really it's the artist friendly part of it. I mean, I feel like we're building a movement here on Phantasma that from the ground up respects the rights of artists. We want to establish, like a template, a way of doing this where we just, we think of it as music, right? Other people might be, offering things where, there's something involved where, I don't know how I should put this. I guess the idea is we want to, allow the artist full freedom. If they want to give away their rights, that's fine. But we want the standard to be that the artists keep their rights. And so if someone does give away their rights or something like that, that should be like a really special thing. And I did just talk to someone who did that, and they had a lawyer to know how to do it. And I want to say that everything I'm saying is not financial or legal advice here. Um, but definitely, I mean, I feel like this is a home for music where we are going to build our own community, where we kind of make the rules. And I mean, let's be honest, when the Phantasma people were creating this, no one was really talking about music NFTs or whatever. And I was like, hey, we need to make a music category. And I'll be honest, even some of the people in the Phantasma team were like, really? I don't know if that could be a thing or whatever. But by the time I made my first Soul Challenge video, they were like, okay, I get it. And then but it was still a couple months before it really started to catch on. And it's only been in the last couple of months. And I think people on other platforms are struggling and stumbling into a lot of the problems that we've actually already solved. And, to have music people get involved in a space like this, where they're not going to lose an arm and a leg, they're not going to get involved in some crazy like scheme that's practically securities trading on Ethereum, uh, I just feel like, this is the place where we have something that can, be for everybody, and that kind of thing. And I can feel good about promoting it. Like if I was telling people to go over to Rarible and spend $100, in the music industry, which has been so hard hit for the last year, I would not be able to live with myself, honestly. I actually feel that it's irresponsible, a lot of the things that are going on out there, in terms of telling people to do these things.
I think a lot of the things you see in the news are the bigger artists and the giant artists, frankly, who are coming together and forming exclusive partnerships with companies that are headed up by ex-label people who are getting into these big deals, and they're obviously going to be selling their stuff for a lot of money. Uh, but that still doesn't help the independent artist.
Right. And it's designed to generate headlines, but unfortunately, you got to wonder, when there's that much money, why are they spending that? Is it to try to get the noobs to all wreck themselves? It's not good. And so, what we have here is genuine, and it's driven by real musicians and a real movement of artists. And we've seen so many musicians get involved who are just like phenomenal talents, real musicians that don't have a huge ego or whatever.
Right.
And it's just a wonderful thing to be a part of, to see everybody just coming together in the spirit of helping each other.
Right. And I've gotten actually after the thing we did last week, I got two calls, people who want to consult about putting out MFTs. And one is, I think we're going to put it up on my label. So
Wow,
Hudson City Records. So I think Hudson City is going to have an NFT branch.
that's exciting.
I'll have to rent out a new office space for that, right? And hire new staff.
That would be nice.
I
Yeah,
think that would actually that'll just be me like on a text talking them through it.
I believe it,
Uh,
man. You're the best.
I mean, at some point we can do an aggregate page maybe where we can aggregate all the NFTs using, WordPress plugin or something and put them all on one page. So they
Absolutely.
come up as like little on a bulletin board,
I
and
believe Ghost Market is going to have widgets too. So you'll be able to just put that in there, and people will be
right.
able to bid and interact with their wallet right on your site.
Yeah, so that would be great. You don't even have to own. I mean, like let's say my friend wants to put out his record as an NFT. I hook him up. I'm going to hook him up with his own wallet, right? I'm not going to put it through my wallet. Um, so, or else maybe a record label can have a bunch of different wallets, one for each artist, and then
Absolutely.
figure that out. But the fact is that each one of these NFTs is not only do you get the money, the initial money directly, you get all of the soul right into your wallet. Boom, uh, no middleman. But then when it gets sold again, the artist gets 10% or another number that you assign to it. I assign 10% goes to you also. So when they sell your work again on the NFT market, the original artist gets 10%,
That's right. No matter how many times it changes hands.
no matter how, forever. And that's logged in the blockchain. That's amazing.
It is. Well, I apologize. I actually have a meeting in like 4 minutes. I got to wrap it up here, but I'm so glad to get that. I'm so glad to have you on board. And I mean, it's just always such an amazing thing to talk to you. You're like a true hero. I mean, just the way that you navigated and just it's incredible. And the things that you've come up with, the system. I mean, really, we should talk about this. Maybe I'll make a video called the Healy method or something.
It's nothing. It's nothing that anyone out there can't do. And you have to take yourself seriously. And when you get into technology, it's really easy with technology just to go like flit around and not really uh, tie up loose ends because if things change so fast. And I found that really sussing stuff out and really understanding it is important. So when you're
Well,
making a web page, really try and understand what the editor is doing and what is SEO and what links are and how things, end up being the way they are, especially with design. And you realize that this stuff, it's all got complicated, cool names, but it's not that difficult.
well, when you put everything together, you've definitely taken it to the next level, the same way you do with music. It's incredible.
Thank
It's
you.
great to have
Feel
you
free to
on.
contact me with any questions. I'd be happy to help.
Awesome.
So
I
I'm on
appreciate it.
Twitter and also HudsonCityRecords.com or Biscodini.com. Okay.
Absolutely. And yeah, everyone, if you go to ghostmarket.io, especially right now, you can go to the marketplace and it's the very first thing that should come up because it was just listed. Thank you, Scott. I will hopefully talk to you soon.
Okay, Jess. See ya.